Hey, okay, so I'm live now. So everybody let me know if you can see and hear me just fine. I'm going to be honest with you, I just lost track of time and that's why I'm late. But then also, I'm trying a new setup for this stream that should make it fun. I'm hoping. So you can give me feedback on that and let me know if you like it. Looks and sounds great. Thank you, Never Ender. All right, cool. Well, then, an abridged. No, I'm liking this story. Anyway, yes. Okay, so a couple of housekeeping things. First of all, I've only read Dragon Ball. I have not read Dragon Ball Z, and I've not read Dragon Ball Super. So please keep it spoiler free for those series, if you please. That would be very helpful to me because I don't want. Oh, that's weird. Because I want to continue on, and I will continue on. You late? No, I was late because I was watching The Bachelorette. Is that better somehow? Hey, how's it going? Hi, everybody. Good to see you. I don't know. Honestly, favorite characters. Oh, listen, Omega Tech. I have slides prepared. We're doing full on PowerPoint. We've got sections, we've got like talking points. I got you. Gavin, I've read all of Dragon Ball. I'll tell you everything on Voxer. No, go away. I don't want any spoilers. Okay, cool. So why did I start reading Dragon Ball? Because some people were joking around about some really stupid humor in it, and that sounded awesome because I love stupid humor. And the chat is a little fast. I don't think I can do anything about that. I think that's just how fast people are commenting. Um, and we will get to it. And I just wanted to I know that Dragon Ball is like one of the most formative mangas for a lot of manga readers, and I really like being a part of conversations. I read a lot of classics just for the sake of being able to chat. Yes. Actually, I was planning on driving out and visiting him recently, but we had some scheduling issues and it didn't work out, but yes, we will collab again. But anyway, another thing that I wanted to mention before the stream starts, and I'll pin a comment, or maybe Lynn, if you could pin the comment, that would be great because I don't know that I know how to do that. This live stream. Okay, so a, a, some bad news for my family is that my 5-month-old nephew actually passed away this week, and the whole family has been together, and we've been grieving together, and we're working through it together. But for this live stream, I'm going to have all super chats are going to go to my in-laws so that they can just to help pay for funeral costs. So just so y'all know, all super chats go towards funeral costs. Thank you so much. I'm seeing a lot of condolences in the chat, so thank you guys. I appreciate you. So there's the comment. Lynn, if you could pin it for anybody, thank you. Thank you all. I really appreciate it. We have been grieving together. So I've been processing with my family, which has been very helpful. It's been rough. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh gosh. I read that as $25. Thank you, super tons, Grand Soliel. Thank you very, very much. And thank you all for your condolences. I really appreciate that a lot. Yeah, right. I know. So anyway, okay, let's get into the stuff. Thank you, finders. So I do have. Okay, cool. Thank you, Gavin. You're so sweet. Sending all the love to you and your family. Thank you. So the first thing that turned me on to Dragon Ball, y'all are so sweet. You're flooding the chat with just a bunch of like really, really sweet messages, and I just appreciate you all very much. Okay. First thing that turned me on to Dragon Ball, well, actually, the first thing that turned me on to Dragon Ball was that my patrons created a big Dragon Ball is better than Z and Super. Well, I don't want to hear that. I want to keep liking it. My patrons created a compilation of out of context stupid moments from the anime as well as from like movies, and there's a fan made something, whatever it was that created Bald This Way. Bald This Way is my new favorite thing in the whole wide world. You don't have the ability to pin. Well, okay. Shucks. Do I have the ability to pin? I wouldn't even know how to do it. Condolences to you and your family. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mark. Y'all are incredibly, incredibly sweet. Um, anyway, it was the best thing that's ever happened to me, especially bald this way. And go go Gingu Force, Gingu Force rules. That was also the best thing that's ever happened to me. Yes, I can definitely see the inspirations for One Piece big time. Uh, but so that compilation made me start right away, and immediately the first thing that got me so excited from chapter 1 is the stupid humor. Thank you, Sandbun. The stupid humor in this series. This series is so dumb. I love stupid humor so much. Anything that's like, well, I guess that's why I love series like One Piece so much. Anything that doesn't make sense and is self-aware of how it doesn't make sense is like brilliant to me. So stuff like this, where first of all, a dolphin just popping out of the ocean and just being like, "Yeah, I'll give you directions, no problem." And then that dolphin never shows back up. It's not plot relevant. There's no reason. Like it does. There's no reason for this. What's my fave stupid humor? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and One Piece, of course. Let's keep the talk to Dragon Ball. She's only done. Yes, thank you. I would appreciate that. Um, and then slapstick. Oh, right. I have heard that it's like very much Journey to the West, but I haven't actually read that. Thank you, Joe. Uh, or something being introduced to the plot, like this purity cloud. I know that's not what it's called. I can't remember what it's called. But this being introduced to the plot and then a character acknowledging like this doesn't really make sense and he's just like deal with it. And that's the only logic we get. That's brilliant. That's just good writing. Or you have like this character introduced who I can't help you with that. I don't think there's a way to slow down the chat. Um or you have stuff like this where you're introduced to this overpowered mentor character and when something's thrown at him and he spins around and you think, oh, he's gonna deflect it, and then it like cracks his freaking skull. That's hilarious. Can't watch live, but wanted to donate. Thank you, Bucky. I love that nonsense. This is probably my second favorite joke in the manga so far, is when the bald character, gosh, I'm really bad with names, guys. Sorry about that. Slow mode exists? Well, you have too much faith in me. It doesn't matter. I'm reading the chat. You can read it too. You're fine. So, bald guy, when he's fighting off this nasty, dirty man, and Krillin, I personally don't care for gross humor. Like, make it about poop, make it about farts, make it about not showering, and I'm completely disengaged. That's not funny to me. So Lynn is one of my mods on my Patreon, and she basically keeps the place running because I don't know how to computer. But anyway, so when Goku is like, when he's being defeated by the stink, and then Krillin is like, was I wrong? Is it not Krillin? Why are you questioning me? Now you're making me question me. And Goku's like, but you've got no nose. And then he remembers, and then he can start fighting. That's the correct kind of humor. That's the best kind of humor. Okay, now my favorite joke in the manga so far is this ninja where he's trying to hide behind his invisibility cloak and he's got it turned the wrong way, so it's like this big flag. or when he tries to hide under the false rock but Goku peeks, and then this where he's trying to breathe through the bamboo, and so Goku just gets some boiling water and pours it in his lungs. That's so horrible, but so funny. Yes, I definitely see that inspiration between the food and the innocence and the no idea what's going on at any given time, but extremely, extremely powerful. I would say Goku does definitely have a strong sense of justice like Luffy does, but did you say you're still in the middle of reading it? I've only read Dragon Ball. I haven't read Z or Super. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, he does also have a strong sense of justice. Like he cares about getting about like helping, which by the way, this is a spoiler chat for Dragon Ball. We're all talking spoilers. He cares about when the one little boy's dad dies. Dragon Ball, Nino. Dragon Ball is iconic, good manga choice. Yeah, you know what? When I said I wanted to read it just for, like, being in the conversation, so many people were like, "Why would you read that? You're gonna hate it." And I loved it, so I don't know. But anyway, maybe someday. I've got a really long TBR. But anyway, he does have a sense of justice for sure. He cares about taking care of people, but I don't know if it's like that's one way that I think Oda really made Luffy very, very different is that Luffy will do his own thing, but it's iconic. Is that good though? I mean, I think it's good because it's self-aware of what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna start Z probably next week or the week after. Um, Famously misinterpreted. I might be one of those people, if I'm honest with you, because I don't know that I interpreted much from it. Like it's a bunch of laughs and really good fighting. I don't know that I have interpreted anything from it, but that's why I like it. Is because it's a bunch of laughs and really funny. There are some people who haven't read the series. Murphy's prime example. Yeah, very true. Okay, so anyway, a couple of other gags that I really enjoyed, when Goku when they're in the cave and Goku just he sees a dead pirate, and instead of being, like, freaked out in any kind of way, he grabs the skull and plays a prank. That's, like, so inappropriate, and I love it. Or when all these people die from the booby traps, and then one of the dead men informs the officer of what happened, like, that's just really good humor. Low-hanging fruit to hate Dragon Ball. People are allowed to hate things. I mean, there's a lot to hate about it. Like, I'm not like, there's so much great humor in this, but there's also a lot of really bad humor that's aged terribly and, frankly, was probably also really bad humor at the time that it was written. Um, and on top of that, it doesn't have a lot of plot, and some of the plot that we do get it doesn't even really make sense or work. So if you're in it for, certain things, then it's okay to hate it. Like, I don't think it's a big deal for people to hate things. The author was, I'm sorry, Toriyama, the author, was famous for being on record that he, what? Being on record that he both made things up week to week and also forgetting half the things he writes. I love that. It shows. I don't think that's a hateful thing to say. I think it shows. Hi there, been watching your content for a long time. My condolences. Thank you. The OG 42 volume is Dragon Ball Z. I'm sorry, Dragon Ball and Z. You don't have to watch Super if you don't want to. Oh, is Super just something to watch? I'm not saying there's no plot at all. I'm just saying the plot. Okay, fair enough. I guess I did say there's basically no plot. I'm not trying to say there's no plot at all. I'm just saying that the plot there's not a really complicated plot happening, and the plot that does happen doesn't always make perfect sense. Like the Dragon Balls are supposed to once you get your wish granted and they all scatter. Oh, my neighbor's coming to my house with a present. I wonder if Corey's home. Oh no. Okay. Ah. Okay. He's knocking on my door. What do I do? What do you do when your neighbor's knocking on your door while you're live streaming? I hope Corey's around. Okay, I'm just gonna let it be. Hey, Adrian. Oh no, Murphy is ahead of me. Yeah, well, you can catch up in a day. Anyway, like the Dragon Balls are supposed to scatter and go. I should go. You'll wait? Okay, all right, give me 1 second. Let me get myself out of here. Okay, Corey's playing basketball, and Corey's playing basketball, and Brian, my neighbor, saw Corey, and so he's going to talk to Corey now. So it's all good. Thank you all for offering to wait. You're very sweet. Anyway, the Dragon Balls. When you make a wish, when you make a wish, they're supposed to go up in the air and then scatter, and then they're rocks for a year. But then there's one time skip that's only 8 months long, and then Goku's like, I'm gonna go find the Dragon Balls. And then he just immediately starts finding them. So, like, it's not always perfect, is what I'm saying. Like, the plot isn't what you would read for. And if you're there for an amazing plot and that's it, then, it's okay for people to not like it. Hey, Rick. Toriyama does an excellent job with moment to moment emotions of the plot. He always carries you along. Only in hindsight that you notice things don't necessarily make sense. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, Dragon Ball has plot holes. Exactly. I think that's fine though. For what the series is doing, like for a comedy series, yeah, we're gonna talk about that. For a comedy series, I think it's fine. Okay, sorry. I've got just a couple more gags that I want to talk about because there's too many really, really good ones. Dragon Ball, from what I know, is not exactly known for its storytelling. Yeah, totally. I love it for the plot. I do too. Don't get me wrong. Let's go chase some Dragon Balls and then hunt them down, and it's like a scavenger hunt, basically. That's an awesome plot. I really don't have any interest in changing that up. Anyway, so this scene when we find out that the maniacal villain, who has been the villain for like, I don't know, 3 chapters, what he actually wants the Dragon Balls for is to become taller. And his henchman is like, "That's it?" And then he just shoots the guy and then moves on, and now that guy's out of the series. Like, that's great humor. That's brilliant to build up a baddie, learn that his motivations are goofy, and then his own man kills him and they move on. That's just really good humor. Okay. All right. One more about the gags. I also love that that Dragon Ball is phenomenal at fight sequences, and he's so clear in writing fights, and we'll talk about that. I have a whole section of my slides dedicated to fights. Oh, yeah, and it's the next section, actually. We're gonna talk about that immediately after I say this. So I love that he's so skilled at writing complicated but clear fight sequences, yet he made a whole gag around it being too complicated and the spectators not understanding, so they reenacted the whole thing bit by bit and explained it. And it was like 4 double pages, so like 8 pages long, this very drawn out explanation, and I just think that that's brilliant. Sonic Stormer, he stole my food. I'ma beat him up. Perfectly fine plot point when your protagonist is Goku. Well, that's Luffy's plot points too, so I would agree. Splantut. Sorry to hear about your nephew. Thank you. On a lighter side, I'd like to recommend taking a break between OG and Z to read Jacko, a single volume, more modern series from Toriyama that is just silly humor and complements Dragon Ball well. It's a single volume? Okay. I'm going to forget, like, immediately. But if someone will remind me, like in my Discord, then I will do that. Because if it's a single volume, then yeah, totally. Why wouldn't I? Don't do this? Okay, I won't do it. Now I'm overwhelmed. How am I supposed to know what to do? I wouldn't recommend until after Z. Don't listen to him. Hey, so for those who are just now joining, my 5-month-old nephew passed away this week, and it has been my family's been grieving together. We've been taking days just all being together, so we're working through it together. But all the super chats from this stream are going to my in-laws to help pay for funeral costs. So that's why people are sending their condolences. Kyodori, what would you wish to the Dragon Balls other than the world's most comfortable underwear? Love you. I love you guys too. What would I wish for? Strawberries. I feel like when Bulma or whatever her name is, she initially started seeking the Dragon Balls because she wanted strawberries, and then she changed it to a boy. And I just feel like the strawberries were a really good choice. So they're trolling? Oh no. Splantot. They're so right. I'm dumb and forget things. Read later for sure. Okay. I'll read it later. Sorry, that was really funny. All right, fights. Let's talk about how awesome the fights in this series are. Okay. First of all, I'm not really a fights reader. I mean, I'll read a fight, but I'm not really a fights reader. But oh my goodness, Dragon Ball is incredible. Okay. I love how complicated and busy yet clean and clear the fight sequences in this series are. Yeah, bring the violence. It is oh, I'm sorry. In an interview with Oda, Oda said he loved the Pilaf robot in the original Dragon Ball. Oh, I did create that, didn't I? I wonder if that inspired Frankie a little bit. Oops, didn't mean to pull that back up. I'm just gonna use that to pull that back down. Okay. Nope, this is Dragon Ball, not Z, not Super. Oh, did I use the wrong image for the thumbnail? Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, anyway, I love how complicated yet clean and clear it is. Like you can see every point of of contact. You can see every point of contact in this. And even though limbs are flying and it's like it's crazy intense, it's so clear as well. Oda has such a love for Toriyama. He said he calls him God Sensei. Oda is one of the biggest Dragon Ball fans in the world, if I remember correctly. He has a giant dragon bath in his house. What? That's insane. Hey Lucy, my favorite scene is when Goku Dragon Balls the Z. What? Oh, it's very Lucy. Um, Omega Rockman. Hey, I recognize that image. I mean, I don't know any context around it, but I've seen it as I have Googled. Finish Z, then Jocko, then the films Battle of. Oh, I'm probably not gonna watch films, honestly. The movies are essential stories, but glossed over in the manga. Whoops. I'm probably not gonna watch them unless it's something stupid. Like I heard the live action is actual garbage, so I'll probably watch that. But anything that's valuable, I probably won't. Thank you, Michael. Captain Crespo. Do you know Dragon Ball is 42 volumes? Z was anime Western thing. Yeah, there's no break in the weekly release. It's the same series, not a sequel. You'll see why. I do know that now. I didn't know that when I initially said that I would take a break and do this stream after Dragon Ball and not Z. And I'm fine with that because we have a lot to talk about in a single stream. Like, we're 22 minutes in, and I'm only on section 2 of my slides. So I'm fine with breaking it up. Toriyama loves Jackie Chan movies. Ah, well, he certainly paid an homage to Jackie Chan in the series. You can watch the live action movie now if you want to. It only covers stuff from Prezi. Oh, sweet, killer. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to say that in the chat. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, so also you've got like I just really love that you can have things like this where he moves so fast and then scares him and then backs up and then does the thing. And it's like, it's so clear. I would think that this would be such a hard thing to depict. And yet it's so clear. And it's so goofy and fun. And I love it. Geo? Dragon Ball Z is great plot. Oh, really? Though on thought on Goku as a precursor for the shonen main character, flat characters archetype, like Luffy. Condolences for your family. Thank you. I appreciate that. Then we have sections like this where it says Goku hit him 3 times and you can see all 3 hits so clearly. And then 2, also in this scene with the arms, it's when he's fighting the 3-eyed guy and he grows his extra limbs and then Goku's like, okay, I have 6 arms now. And it didn't, the manga explained it and they said, oh, he's just moving his arms so fast it looks like 6. But they explained it after I saw this panel. And in this panel, I'm like, oh, he's moving his arms so fast it looks like 6. I love that. I love that he's doing this stuff that needs to be explained usually, but actually he makes it so clear, so visually clear that we can figure it out before it. Tien, Thanks. I don't think I ever retained that. That doesn't even sound familiar. Um, next up, okay, so even with these like really precise movements being super super clear, then you also have these really dramatic, intense, explosive movements that is so powerful and cool. Like look at these panels, they're so clean and crisp and explosive. Like he nails the little minor movements as well as the big explosive ones. It's brilliant, actually brilliant. And then you have these clean panels where he's just exploding through a person, and it's like, all the impact is there. I'm just so impressed. Like I don't even care about fight scenes, but Dragon Ball, I'm actually reading halfway for the fights. It's the fights and the humor. That's what I'm here for. And like, who would have thought that of me? No one has better paneling. I don't think I'm skilled enough as a manga reader to actually be able to comment on paneling, because I assume that means like the order of things or like how paneling is cut. I will say one thing that I wish um, Toriyama did that I love that Oda does. Panel says boom, and Murphy claims the panel is explosive. Yeah, I have real original thoughts. Whoops. Didn't mean to click that. Easy GG? I don't know what that means. Why are people saying that? ZZGG? What is happening? Anyway, something that I wish Toriyama did that Oda, I think, does phenomenally is the double spreads. I really wish Toriyama would start utilizing. I mean, I'm sure this wasn't Toriyama he forged a path in so many ways. So I'm sure that this was like double spreads being so popular, or rather more mainstream. But regardless, there are certain panels that he does that I would love. Oh, it says good game. Thanks. I would love to see it as a double spread. All right, let's talk about Goku. And we're actually going to talk about everybody, but we'll start with Goku. So Goku is an excellent protagonist. I love his innocence and his like empty-headedness. That guy 66, I love all the tournament arcs and the aftermath leading up to the Demon King. Piccolo's arc is incredible. So much emotion. Also, the only canon movies come after Z, and the first two are adapted into the manga for Super. Okay, cool. I agree. Actually, the tournament arcs are probably my favorite ones. I might take that back, but that is how I feel at the moment. I love the tournaments. Jolly D Joestar. Sad part of Dragon Ball Super is that it doesn't have good action art. Really? It's drawn by a new person? Why? Geo, Dragon Ball is for the meatheads. I embraced that. All right. I think that's the first time I've been called a meathead. I'm not mad about it. So, like, the fact that Bulma is being kidnapped right in front of him, and the dino is like, let me tie you up real quick, buddy. And he's like, all right, neato. And then he's just, but why? Why would I need to do that? I think that's hilarious. And then that innocence continues on even when he's grown. And when the girl that he saw for one chapter comes back and she's like, you promised your hand to me, or promised my hand to you, however it went. And he's like, okay, logic sound. I guess we're getting married. And like, that's how our protagonist gets engaged. That's brilliant. I love that. Chi-Chi is the girl. I love Chi-Chi, mostly for the gags. Yes, Murphy finished OG Dragon Ball and will start Z eventually. Yep, this is just a Dragon Ball chat. I love that this is her arc. Like, it's so goofy. When she came in and she was screaming at him, she's like, you know what you did? I can't believe you don't remember. I had no idea who she was, what she was on about. I was with the gang. I was like, what is going on right now? I'm like racking my brain of all the women that we've met, which isn't that many. And I'm like, who could this be? And then when I realized it and why she was here and what was happening, that Goku was actually accepting this logic for his life, that's amazing. I love that. Then you have the fact, and this is very Luffy, that first of all, he's constantly eating, but second of all, that Bulma is just like, "Hey, these are bad guys, beat them up." And he just smiles and then just goes. I love it. I love the lack of, um, I don't know, thought, just like instinct. It's all instinct. Bella Brown said, "My condolences to you and yours. Thank you. I love watching your videos while I work on issues of my book. Nice. And Toriyama's ability to maintain stakes is great." Is it? Is it? I mean, I definitely don't feel marriage. What's that taste like? I don't feel any kind of stakes anymore. I'm gonna be honest. We've resurrected like 50,000 people at this point. So, do you think Philip would like Dragon Ball? No, definitely not. When has Philip ever indicated that he likes stupid humor or fight scenes? Come on now. Negative stakes. Right. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're gonna talk about it. It's in my slides. But when nasty old man, what's his name? What's his name, y'all? The gross old guy, the mentor. Anyway, when he uh when he Roshi, thank you, Roshi. When Roshi sacrificed himself to try to take down the Demon King and he died, I was like, "No way, don't make me like Roshi. What are you doing? That was an amazing sacrifice. That was so good." And then Toriyama's like, "No, we're not doing that. In fact, we're not doing any of these deaths. They're all getting taken back." So now I'm just like, "Oh, Goku just got a hole laser beamed through his right next to his heart. Okay." It's fine. He's bulletproof in this series. Is fine. I think that's very low stakes. But what can be done? Oopsie. I wish granting Dragon Balls are the reason Oda does fake out deaths better than reviving them and making death feel non-permanent. I mean, yeah. Death doesn't matter in Dragon Ball. That's definitely the vibe I'm feeling right now. That's for sure. Oda learned it from somewhere, and I'm still gonna complain. I just won't stop that. Okay. Then oopsie. Then I love also that Goku is still flawed. So as he is quickly learning and gaining abilities, he still meets opponents that are stronger than him. And for instance, this character, no, his name isn't in this Popo. Thanks. Well, y'all are just ready for me, and I appreciate that. Uh, this chick is getting money and doesn't know crap. That's true. I don't know crap. This is my first time reading through the series. Hi, nice to meet you. Bucky, thank you, Bucky. So anyway, when Popo comes in onto the scene and just like this is when Goku has so powered up. He's done so much. And then and then he can just so easily take him down. Just like he knocks him down a peg too. Like he can physically overpower him, but then he's also like, I'm pretty disappointed actually. You shouldn't be here. You're not good enough. You're not using your strength well enough." I love that. I love his tenacity. I love his determination. I love how hard he has to fight in order to do this. And I also love that I'm okay, so he does have weaknesses and he has a lot of growth, but then also all of his weaknesses are gone. Like, he has the tail issue, but then he strengthens his tail and now that's not an issue. But, like, his hurdles aren't necessarily physical, his hurdles are mental. It's a matter of maturity, and I really like that. To be fair, everyone only gets 1 revive each. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay, so that means that if Roshi or someone else dies, um okay, then we will actually I'm not dies, but is in danger, then I should actually feel something. Who's power scaler? Oh gosh. I really don't think you have to worry about that. Thomas Ryan, thoughts on the Pilaf arc, especially making the major threat Great Ape Goku? getting the audience to want to save him from the monster within him. So I'm not familiar on all the arc names at this point. Is this the one when he's fighting Roshi in the tournament and then he goes ape and then like it's concerning, like everybody could be in danger and Roshi has to explode the moon on that? Um, as I said, all the tournament arcs are my favorites. My favorite arcs, I think there's 3 total in Dragon Ball, and I love them, and I really loved this twist because I wasn't sure how we were gonna resolve it, and I also, while obviously I have problems with Roshi, I think I've made that clear already, he's also really powerful and really cool and really strong, and he is looking out for the crowd, and this showcases the good side of him in this particular sequence as well, which I love. Adrian, I'm watching while my friends are over, and 2 of them are spoiling Dragon Ball Super and muttering angrily under their breath. Sweet. Please don't play my stream in front of friends. It's okay that you've decided to like me for some reason, but they don't need to suffer. Brian, Mr. Peppo is one of my favorites. The anime has some extra filler episodes with him and Kami training Goku. I thought he was awesome. I really liked him. Okay. Oh yeah. So his tenacity. I love how Goku is like unput downable. He will not, it doesn't matter how much he takes, he will get back up and he looks so cool doing it. Like look at the way he was drawn here with him being so beat up with that look on his face. Come on. That's amazing. Oh, sorry. Scroll back past the super chat. Steezy says it's also good to remember that a lot of what you're discussing or criticizing may and will be addressed in later in the series. Killer. That's awesome. I think that that's true anytime somebody's talking about a series that they haven't actually finished yet. So any criticisms that I make just for the section that I've read, I completely like this is not set in stone. It's not like my mind can't be changed as the series continues. So will my thoughts on it. I click for the insight information. Let's heard it. What? Oh no, I'm sorry about your nephew. My son is about to turn 5 months and 8 days. That's so sad. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So let's talk about all the main characters. So we've already talked about Goku. I love him. I love the way he's written. Bulma. I'm still not sure I'm actually saying her name right. Let me see. No, my mouse doesn't show up. Spoiler for Z. Well, then I'm not going to read it. What are you on about? Is that a joke? Are you joking? Snape is Luffy Skywalker's father. I almost didn't get to the joke. Why would you start the joke that way? What's your favorite arc and why? I think it's just, you know what? Okay. I've already said the tournament arc several times, so I'll change my answer now. I love the Halloween themed arc. I love the witch, Roshi's sister. I love her. That she's only motivated by money and fights is brilliant. And then that it was Halloween themed. And that, yes, you pronounced Bulma correctly. How? My pronunciations are terrible. Fortune teller Baba. Man, she's amazing. And I loved the fights, except for the invisibility one, obviously. But I loved the fights. I loved that arc. So yeah, it was another fight-centric arc, technically. I don't know. Dragon Ball just gets it right. Chat's being weird. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I haven't actually noticed any weirdness, but it's also the internet, so I feel like that's kind of a foregone conclusion. Bulma, I don't have strong opinions on her, honestly. I think that she's cool. Sure, why not? But I don't feel strongly about her. Jared. My wife and I wanted to say hey and that we're thinking of y'all. Krillin is by far the best human. Thank you, Jared and Michelle. So Krillin is, oh, sorry. I don't know what that means. So Krillin is, honestly, I don't have strong feelings about him right now. He is a nice little sidekick and he has some really fun scenes, but I don't feel really, really strongly about him yet. Roshi is a character that I have very strong opinions on in both directions. Like I said, he's so powerful and he's so cool and he like really actually cares about the future generation. Do you remember that scene when Three Eyes guy is hold on, let me get the super chat. Before I lose it. Diamond Dog, I'm happy you love Dragon Ball. Some people replied to me that wasn't for you a while back. Glad they're wrong. Goken will be a favorite of yours. Gohan will be a favorite of yours. Yeah, a lot of people thought that I wouldn't like it, which is understandable. It's fine. But anyway, he really cares. You remember when he was talking about Tien? Thank you. He was talking about Tien, or talking to Tien. He was fighting Tien, and kind of challenged Tien's situation, and then Tien, once he felt confirmation that Tien was after the good of the future, and he was like, "Good, the future is secure in the next generation," and then he just surrendered the fight. That spoke to me. Like he's so cool, but he's also nasty. And most of the jokes in the series that I think are completely not okay are around Roshi. So like I have such mixed feelings about him. Okay with people spoiling Z. I actually feel bad about my joke now. Sorry, Murphy and everyone else. I didn't encounter a spoiler. And if I did, then I just didn't notice it. So you're fine in my case. Master Roshi was my introduction to the Japanese pervert archetype, so often see manga and anime. Yeah, I'm learning that it's a pattern, which I didn't realize initially. So like it's so funny. So many people have told me when you were talking to me, when you were responding a certain kind of way with certain jokes in One Piece, we were like, "Oh, she's gonna hate Dragon Ball," and I do hate those parts of Dragon Ball, but what can be done? The Bulma's boyfriend. What's the it's a character trope. Oh, shucks. It's unfortunately common. Yes. That is unfortunate. It's a character trope that needs to die but won't. Yeah, well put. Thank you. Man, y'all are on it and I appreciate you. Yamaha. Whoops. I was skeptical about her trying Dragon Ball at first. Yeah, a lot of people were. So Yamacha is someone that I really, really like. The scene where, again, this is a great scene for Roshi. The scene where he and Roshi are trying to fight the Demon King, and then Roshi has to knock him out and move him to the side so that sorry, y'all are helping me. Yamacha. Okay, thank you. If I may ask, are you of Algerian descent, North African? Cheers. Nope. I think German is where my family line goes to. Far, far back. Anyway, I really love how much he tries to fight alongside them and like really pushes himself to fight with them. I love that for him. I thought the Demon King was an Piccola. I thought that he was an excellent antagonist and is still an excellent. Oh, Yamcha? Yamcha. Oh, thanks, y'all. Sorry for messing that up so much. Yeah, I get a lot of names wrong. I thought he was and is an excellent antagonist, and I'm really not mad about him still being alive at this point. Murphy is tanned enough to be thought to be Arabic. I don't know. It is summertime. This little fella, the mime guy, I have no opinions toward. I don't even know who this person. Oh, the pig. Yeah, I don't like the pig. And then the 3-eye guy. So Tien, I have left for last on purpose. One, because he's in the back of the crowd, but also he's my favorite. So Tien is my favorite character at this point. The scene that I've already talked about with him and Rochi when they're fighting, and Rochi, I love that when he's confronted with the fact that his mentor is actually not a good guy and what he's been training for, and like he's confronted with this reality, he actually stops, considers it, thinks about it, and then splits and goes his own way and tries to be honorable. And he too, much like Yamcha, actually really, really fights, really pushes himself to be able to match Goku. We'll talk about it later, but in that final fight between him and Goku is just, I loved it. Viz sells Z in color, and it's also in the app and web. Cool. I've been reading off of Viz. No opinion on Krillin? No. I don't have strong feelings about him. I think that he has a lot of... Oh, I just read careful in all caps, and I was like, what did I do? There's a lot of gags around him that I think are funny, but I don't have super strong opinions about him. Okay. Okay. So this is the introduction to... I wasn't sure because I haven't interacted with the fandom a ton, I wasn't sure how people would take me having such strong mixed feelings on Roshi, because I definitely know that there are people who are like, "Roshi's fine, you're sensitive." And so I created a whole section of the slideshow just to talk about, okay, let's break down why this is maybe not something to just kind of roll with and say this is cool. But y'all have been killer in the chat, so I don't think we need that. So I'm just going to skip this section because honestly, I don't feel like talking about it unless I have to. And let's go on to. Oh, let me full screen it again. Machop is definitely top tier Dragon Ball people. Yeah, I called him Machop because he starts off with 2 arms and he grows 4, you know? Turns into Machamp. Mr. Vorland, Murph 2 years ago, I just don't do absurdist humor. Murph, now, give me all the absurd humor. I'm half an hour behind on the VOD, but wanted to donate. Thank you so much. I don't listen to old Murphy. She never knows what she's talking about. Don't skip it. Really? Y'all still want me to go over all that? All right. Well, you let me know in the chat if you want me to go over that because I can. I mean, I can go over it quickly. Um, Brian, the doll. What? The doll-like character Chotsu, the pale one. Character design is supposed to be based on Jingxi, a type of Chinese undead vampire zombie. Killer. I don't actually know who you're talking about. Is it the girl who sneezes? Oh wow, a lot of yeses and a lot of nos. I'm just gonna go with no, because nah, he's a perv. No need to defend that about. Oh, I'm not defending anything. I'm gonna be doing the opposite. The slides were meant for we know why people don't like Roshi. Okay, lots of mixed, lots of yeses, lots of nos. I'm just gonna skip it because I personally don't feel like going on a rant about this. It's not fun. Like I genuinely hate this about the series, and if y'all are good and like nobody's coming at me about not liking Roshi, then we can move on. So, all right. Let's talk about the plot. So we've already talked about the plot quite a bit with other stuff that we've talked about, but I still want to hit on a couple of big pieces of the plot as well as talk about the ending of the series because I'm Australian. Me? I just found out you're Australian. I promise I'm not. Okay. I don't. You confused me. All right. Def hate it when people say others are overly sensitive. Yeah, that's just a way of like trying to shut down conversation. I mean, I'm cool with having a chat about it. I'm cool with like really trying to break it down and explain why it's a problem. But if people just want to shut it down by saying like you're just sensitive or you just don't get it, then like that's just somebody that doesn't know how to argue their point. Hey Ray. Thank you for the super chat. Happy birthday. You're just messing with me. Go away. Okay. Anyway, I love the capsules and I wish this was part of the series more. You know, how do you feel about the themes of the series? I don't know. I guess I didn't. Y'all are really trolling me. It's kind of overwhelming me. Okay, let me think. Let me think for 2 seconds about what the themes might be. Friendship, overcoming adversity, sacrifice, and loyalty. Am I getting any right? Honestly, I haven't done a lot of even though thematic discussions are some of my favorite things to discuss, I haven't really gone into this looking for themes. I've gone into this looking for gags. So that's on me, and I apologize. But if you want to talk at me about the themes, I will happily discuss that. Anyway, capsule magic. I love it. Capsule tech. Yes, you said it right. Is something we really need. I love it, and I wish there were more. I wish this was more prevalent in the series. The first time Bulma pulled out a capsule and then exploded a motorcycle into existence. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. And then the fact that you can have different capsules that create different nonsense is incredible. Come on. And then, oh, sorry. Themes are prominently integrated in the next portion of the series. Gotcha. Yes, I am going into Z 100% blind, just like I have for Dragon Ball. I didn't know anything about Dragon Ball. So, okay. Shaggy Crow, since you've shown enjoyment to manga humor, have you thought of looking into more manga that are more of a straight comedy? Gintama is something that has been recommended to me a lot. So yes, I will be getting to that one for sure at some point, though I don't know how high it is on my list. Anyway, I love capsule magic. I wish it was more prominent. I wish they used it more. I love so usually I hate this whole like will yourself to be stronger kind of power system. And I guess it just feels different in a manga than it does in novels. But I love Goku's simplicity of thought and this running theme of Roshi or of the cat in the sky. What do you think of Toriyama's art style? I think it's incredible. We've talked about it a lot in this stream, but I love how clean and clear his paneling is. It's phenomenal. Yeah, so Roshi's like, this took me 3 years to do. It takes a lot of practice. I guess I could teach you. And then Goku's like, so like this? And he just like does it. And the cat guy in the sky is like, yeah, it's going to take you a really long time to get this holy water. And Goku's like, got it. I just think that that's just part of the charm of the series. It just the same with their training montage when Roshi tells them, "I'll train you for 8 months." And so they're like, "Okay, that's over." Like the rapidity of action, the rapidity of plot points in the series is like half of the joke to me, and I actually really really love it. Favorite character so far is Tien, the three-eye guy. I spent a decent amount of time talking about that a little bit ago. Sorry, that sounded like kind of sassy. I don't care that you've just joined the stream. I just wanted you to know so that if you want to go back and watch the stream, I did talk about it. Okay. Crack, you're making me just not read your comments because I know that you're just trolling. Rope Crewman, thank you for the 5. So, okay, we have to talk about the fact that, first of all, we have a dragon in this story, which I realize I'm an idiot for thinking that it's uh, for not thinking about the fact that Dragon Ball will have a dragon in it. But I don't know. When they were collecting Dragon Balls, I was like, neato, cool. So no cultural osmosis. You got to understand, Daniel, that I am not a manga reader by nature. I don't know. That was poorly worded. One Piece was my start with manga. I had tried a couple, but I had never um, actually gotten through more than a volume of anything. One Piece was my beginning. And then since then, I've only read a handful of series. I haven't been a part of the manga community for very long. I don't know very much about the key players other than that they're mentioned sometimes. So yeah, nothing. Actually, when my patrons asked me, "What do you know about Dragon Ball so far?" I said, "I know that Dragon Ball is the one with the anime run." And they told me, "No, that's Naruto." So that was like I knew nothing. Absolutely nothing. Secret Turtle, letting you know that there are 3 stopping points for Z. The one that the one for the editors, Toriyama, and then the actual finally. Really curious in your opinion. Interesting. I'm probably going to go with the official end. Anyway, I love the you collect all the Dragon Balls, you get a wish from the dragon. For me, this sort of scavenger hunt plot is so fun. Like I love that, and the fact that we got them all, we got the dragon, we got the gag, the gag resolution to that, which is just like I can't believe for the life of me, I cannot believe that this series actually made that the first wish granted by the mythical magical dragon. That's hilarious to me. So I can't spell. Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I can't either. Hey, Frosty. No problem. Anyway, you know what? I think Naruto is my next shonen after I'm done with Dragon Ball. I'm pretty sure Lynn knows. I don't remember what I've committed to. But yeah, I love that this is what it was. This is the resolution to that. Like, that's just so stupid. And I love it. This too, I don't know if you can hear that, but a toy just started going off. I'm in my daughter's room. This too, I was not like, I don't know. I just accepted when Goku was like, "Yeah, all boys have tails in this world." I was like, "Cool, neato, all boys have tails in this world." And then I saw more men and nobody had tails, and I was like, "Okay, so Goku has a tail." Never in my life did I expect that he was essentially a werewolf and would wolf out. Like, that's amazing. That crap about the editors forcing Toriyama to continue the series is an urban myth in the Western fandom, not based on reality. Okay, well, that happens. Steezy, most Dragon Ball fans have only watched the anime. There's so many differences between it and the manga, so there are unfortunately often lots of inconsistencies when discussing the series online. Well, that sucks. No such thing as three stopping points. That's fine. I'm an adult and have a lot of toys. I mean, hopefully not one that sings like a lullaby song. I mean, I guess you do you. Maybe you do. I know! I know! I know! Like, that's crazy! So anyway, again, I also love that the training, like, the whole training sequence that went on for, like, 0 seconds flat was so funny, and that was actually one of the points where I really, really loved, the Baldy, whose name I've already forgotten again, because he was like, well, I hated him and I loved him when he was like, "There's no way we're gonna find this rock. I'll just make it up." And then Roshi took the rock from him and he's like, "No," and he just chucks it at his head, and then he has to run back into the forest crying and saying he's sorry. Like, that's hilarious. The whole plot point that we ended up talking about because somebody brought it up in the chat, where Goku goes ape and Roshi has to blow up the friggin' sun. Not the sun, the moon. I'm sorry. That's brilliant. Night Owl Reader, ever thought about reading sports manga? So I have read, I read some of The Climber. I didn't finish it. Is that the only sports manga I've read? I guess it is. Huh. Yeah, I should read more. You're right. Dragon Ball's best. You are blessed to not have been spoiled. 90% of Dragon Ball fans experience Z first. I can't wait for you to experience Z's opening twist. We were all spoiled. Yay! Okay, please nobody in the chat spoil me because I have been able to avoid spoilers completely. I don't know anything that's coming. So, super excited about that. Oh, we talked about this because somebody asked what my favorite arc was other than the tournament arcs. Look at this old witch. She's my superhero. I want to be her when I grow up. I love her, and I love the way she runs her life. That guy 66, there was a funny rumor that the live action movie was so bad that it motivated Toriyama to make his own Dragon Ball movie, which led to Dragon Ball's return with Super about 20 years after it ended. That's hilarious. Incognito, did you like the whole Goku being feral slash obvious to the outside world concept? Hope you guys are having a great day. Do you mean because he was kept from the rest of society and because he was like very like he would just strip down and wasn't worried about nudity and like all that kind of stuff? I assumed that was more of like a childlike tendency that Toriyama was trying to articulate with that. But yes, that is also like I understand the feral comparison and that I didn't catch on at all that was leading to him turning that was leading to him essentially being a werewolf, but like a were ape, I guess. I think it's brilliant. Lynn for president, yeah, for real, she's amazing. Okay, so when we're first introduced to the Demon King, and we're told that he's been kept in a rice cooker all these years, brilliant. I love that. That's so stupid. It's amazing. And then we've talked about this. I talked about this when I was talking about all the characters, but this scene for Roshi, where he actually sacrificed his life to try to get the Demon King back in the rice cooker, is both hilarious and really well done. Like, I really felt the effects of that sacrifice. And and he didn't succeed. The Demon King went on, but it was such a great scene. The fact that both demons are sitting on toilets isn't entirely unnecessary, but completely, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't catch any of that. Poor quality of the pre-Dragon Ball Z Kai anime dubs also contribute to Western fans' disconnect. Thankfully, the manga has a fairly decent translation. Yeah, I mean, I was really happy with it. So This really threw me for a loop. Never did I ever expect him to actually kill the dragon and ruin the system of the Dragon Balls. Once again, I quickly learned that death has no meaning in this series. So the dragon was just formed again and the system was reinstated and everything's fine. But in this moment, it was brilliant and I loved it. We already talked about Popo. I really, really love him. Meeting the god of this world and seeing that he looks like the devil of this world and they're like two parts of one, I thought was really, really cool. And now we have the final sequences. So I actually the rice cooker was genius. Completely agree. So I actually just read the ending today. I sat down to go over my slides to make sure that everything was good, and I realized that I didn't finish the series because again, it was my week kind of got turned upside down. So I just finished this ending today, right before the stream. And I loved it. Once again, we ended on another tournament, which I think that he is just so incredible at writing tournaments. But the action and the movement, like look at this here on the bottom left with Tien and Goku fighting, and like him moving so fast that the elbow doesn't actually catch. Like that's so brilliant. And then the fact that Goku has been doing this entire fight with all these weights was such a great reveal, and it all tied back to the turtle shell training. And he was like, okay, now I'm ready to fight. And Tien just takes it all with such great humor. Tien's moves with being able to duplicate himself and then send these blasts and Goku just going up in that big explosion. It was incredible. Has anyone ever recommended you the Berserk manga? It's an amazing manga, but super dark. I would also personally recommend Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic. I haven't heard of Magi, the Labyrinth of Magic, though the title definitely intrigues me. Berserk has been recommended a few 100,000 times. Don't read Berserk until it's complete. I'm not going to read Berserk. It's too dark for me. Then whenever the god of this world inhabits a body and goes through the tournament as well, and they start speaking in their own language and going back and forth, and he pulls out the vial to try to trap him, but then he himself gets trapped. What? Such a good twist. So much tension. Are you kidding me? That was so good. And then he turns to Goku and he's like, you got to finish this, man. So then we have this scene where Goku basically does the Aladdin thing where he's egging the baddie on to capture himself in ways, so he's like, get bigger. Oh, is that all you can grow? Come on. And then he ends up shooting himself into the Demon King's mouth. And it's so brilliant. Like, I love this whole sequence. And then look at this action. Like, look at this panel to the left where he's zipping around and then he stops right at his face. And then he starts attacking again. Are you kidding? I love that. Yes, you're right. It does have tension. It just doesn't have, it strips itself of the ability to have stakes in a fight in the sense that, I don't fear for anyone, but in that way, yes, it has so much tension and the fights are so well done. It's ridiculous. Okay, anyway. This scene where he does the blast and Goku's still standing there, that was awesome. I know I'm just shouting about how cool it is now, but I mean, this was a really cool ending to the series. And then Goku gets shot through, misses all of his organs, of course, because he's the protagonist. Actually, it doesn't matter that he's the protagonist. Every single character has plot armor. But gets shot through, super badly injured, gets back up because he's friggin' Goku, and then hits him and takes him down. Then the god character, the god of this, keep shouting, the god of this world, he's like ready to take him out so that he can end it, but then that means that he's going to be ended as well, and then he's going to, all of them? I don't know, I think so. But then he's going to die too, and then that'll ruin the magic of the Dragon Balls and chain of effects, and Goku stands in front of him and he's like, no. You don't get to make that choice. You made a promise to me. You have to keep that promise. And he refuses to let him do it. And he's like, let the guy get back up. I'll just knock him back down again. Are you kidding? Like, there's a little bit of logic there that I'm like, Goku, there's a rice cooker lying around somewhere. Why do people think? Okay, anyway, there's a rice cooker lying around somewhere. There's a vial that the god of the world just got trapped in like 2 seconds ago, that's literally laying on the floor. Why, when he's down and can't get back up yet? Why? I've heard slam dunk is good. That's one that's been recommended a lot. Why would you just be like, let him get back up, let him run away, let him kill a few 100,000 more people? Like, I get it. I know that you have faith in yourself to just keep knocking him back down, but he kills people. He destroys after he destroyed the dragon, he atomic bombed an entire kingdom, an entire city. So like, I love you, Goku, and I think that was a really badass line, but also he's murdering people. So like, trap them in a rice cooker, please. He sensed he was different. Oh, so when he got back up, he sensed he was different? Is that what you're saying? I must have missed that because I read it literally right before sitting down. So I must have missed something. So many read requests. How do you have this much time? I don't. There will be series that I won't get to. Haiku, Hajime no Ippo, and Yamushi Pedal. Okay. Thank you for those recommendations. I'm so early on in my manga journey. Like, there are a lot. He never killed anyone. Oh, you're right. This is the junior. That's a really good point. Thank you for reminding me of that. I kind of conflated that Pico Jr. is King Pico's son. Thank you guys for correcting that. I was, yeah, I missed that. Well, I didn't miss it. I just forgot about it. See, yeah, because I'm not reading for the plot. Some of the plot threads have fallen out, but thank you all. Anyway, regardless, it's an awesome line, and I love that that Goku is just like, you can't do that. You can't. Oh, so I guess y'all must like Pico Jr. Is he decent? Does he turn out to be cool or something? Anyway, I love that he's just like, you can't break your promise. You have to keep your promise. I will get him back down. Like, I'll keep fighting if I have to. Let him go. I think that was such a killer. The son of the previous king. Yeah, I forgot that he did. Like, I remember him laying the eggs from his mouth in the beginning when he and that prince were roasting them and eating them. I remember that, but I completely forgot that he did it again for Pico Jr. So I appreciate y'all reminding me of that. Don't answer that question. Omaru said, Goku sensed that this new version was less evil. Thank you. Okay, killer. I got you. Thank you for reminding me of that. Okay. Anyway, so this teddy bear keeps going off. That's what I'm hearing. So it ends on him and his bride-to-be riding off in the sunset together. And I think that's a really good ending to the series, actually. I'm really satisfied. I thought that this was a super fun series. I had a blast, personally. So I'm super excited for Z. I plan to take a break to read. I keep bumping the mic. Sorry if that's really loud. Chi-Chi. Yes. I really like Chi-Chi. I plan to take a break to read I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, which is super, super fast. And then I'm going to get right into Z. I've been having a great time. So let me see if I can figure out how to make a poll in the chat. Hold on. Let me do it on this computer. So obviously I'm not, oops, didn't mean to do that. Obviously I'm not a Dragon Ball pro by any means. And, oh, okay, sorry. I got confused there. If you enjoyed Dragon Ball, especially the humor, please check out Kanji no Gash, also known as Zechbell in the West. It's a real fun manga. Okay, thank you for the recommendation. My personal top 3 moments of the series, Goku learning yes, that was awesome. Immediately, the fight with his grandpa, also very good. And when no one recognizes Goku. Those are all really good scenes. So obviously, I'm not a pro at this series. You're going to hear somebody who is very new to the series, who doesn't, trying to figure out how to set my microphone down so I can use my hands. Somebody who doesn't know a lot, somebody who's going to get stuff wrong. Oops. So knowing that you're just getting like a discussion from a newbie who's experiencing the series completely blind with no spoilers for the first time, but will be wrong sometimes. Would you like to have a stream when I finish Z? Because I'm happy to do this again. Like, for me, this is fun, but the reality is, like, I'm not the most knowledgeable person in the room. So there's a poll. I think it's going to pin itself so you can respond. Okay, some positivity right off the bat. So that's cool. I'm glad you enjoyed this stream, even though it was, crazy. I don't want to deviate from the subject of Dragon Ball, but I have to say Berserk is not that dark. Don't listen to people who say that it's beautiful. I believe that it's beautiful. I don't think that that's untrue, but I have spoken with people who have read it and who know me very well and know the things that I don't want to read about, and they have told me that not Dragon Ball, that Berserk is not going to be the series for me. So, I'm trusting my friends at this point that they know me well enough to know what is going to be beyond what I'm comfortable with reading. Steezy, the next 2 huge arcs in Dragon Ball are legitimately some of the best arcs in all of Shonen, in my opinion. Really? I believe that you will love most of the next 150 chapters. Wow, that makes me so happy. Oh, that makes me really happy because I have enjoyed Dragon Ball so much. So I'm really, really happy to hear that it stays good. Togashi, Hunter x Hunter's Dark Tournament, is basically considered the father of tournament arcs in shonen if you like these. So Hunter x Hunter is one of my top manga that I've read. I absolutely adore that series, and I really enjoyed the tournament arc in Hunter x Hunter. Thomas, thoughts on how the last tournament wraps up nearly all previous plot points? Chi-Chi, Piccolo, Mercenary Tao, the Crane School. Thoughts about how it wraps up nearly everything? I think that's awesome. See, that's the thing. No, Berserk is dark. Yeah, I've had people tell me this is way too dark for you. This would not be good for you. And I've had people tell me, what are you talking about? This isn't even that dark. I've heard both sides. I just know that the people that know me well and trust me, that I trust, have told me that it's not the one for me. So I'm gonna lean on them. Anyway, what were you talking about? Oh yeah, I think that's great. See, that's the thing, is people keep telling me that Z and Dragon Ball aren't supposed to be separated, but it felt like a really strong ending to me. Like it felt like an end. And I'm happy that there's a sequel. So I'm gonna keep reading. But great villains coming up in Z. Good. Yay, that makes me very happy. Whoops. Berserk is great. I believe you. Some of my closest friends love and adore Z. Love and adore Berserk. So I have no doubts in the world that it's great. Anyway, let me look at the poll. 97% said that they wanted another stream for Z. So I guess we're doing another stream. How many people voted? All right. 400 people voted. 97% said yes. So we'll do it. After I finish Z, I will set up another stream. It'll probably be after Avatar live action, after we've run our course with all that, because I plan on doing streams for the live action as well. So don't expect it here in the next month, but we'll do a Z chat. Sonic Stormer was referring to you. Oh, what? You were referring to. Oh, you were. Hold on. I need to scroll. Hold on. Let me go back. Okay. Sonic Stormer. I don't see your previous comment. Sorry. I'm not sure I understand. Dragon Ball Z manga doesn't exist in Japan. It's just Dragon Ball. I know. But I didn't know that when I planned to split them up. And this does feel like we've been here for an hour and 13 minutes. So I feel fine about splitting it. There's a lot to talk about. I just got in. Do you plan to read Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? Dude, are you kidding me? I love Full Metal Alchemist. I have videos on my channel. I have many videos on my channel about it. I love Full Metal. It's a phenomenal series. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound so intense. It's okay if you haven't watched all my videos. I love Full Metal Alchemist, though. It's very, 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 very good. Okay, my throat hurts, so I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you helping me with names because I'm so bad with names. Hope you liked the format. I'll watch those videos. Okay. I hope you guys liked the sorry about that if that's really loud. I hope you guys liked the format. It was fun kind of like collecting my thoughts and doing the slides and whatnot. So if that worked out for y'all, then we could do that again next time. If you didn't like that and you just want just a talk with no slides next time, then we can do it that way too. So I guess let me know what you think about that formatting. Adrienne, hello and much love from North Carolina. Really? Is that what that's for? Does NC stand for North Carolina? Because I was literally just in North Carolina. I know nothing about manga, but I wanted to say hi since I saw you were live through Discord. Hope all is well. Thanks. Hi. Loved it. Slides worked. Slides were great. Okay, cool. You guys might just be hyping me because you're nice, but more slides next time. More? Took me like 2 hours to get that together. Okay, cool. Are you going to do a Dragon Ball video review? No, I don't reckon so. I might do a Dragon Ball video review when I've read the whole series, maybe, yes. But I feel like the live stream is enough, eh? Like, we talked for a long time. Why would it need a video? All right, cool. What? I sent you some trails for that trip? You did? Oh, on the Discord. Now I know who I'm talking to. I didn't realize who I was talking to at first. Yes, you did. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Thank you all. You're awesome. I love you. I'm leaving you now. Thank you for joining. And thank you all for your donations, especially those that stream after chapter 329. I make no guarantees. I'll forget that. Especially those of you that donated specifically for my in-laws. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are amazing. So I'll see you next time. Bye.